Hello. In this video, we're going to take a look at a do-while loop. A do-while loop is a repetition control structure that allows us to repeat a group of statements. The basic syntax is going to be the keyword do, and then the braces to establish a block. That block is one or more statements that are going to be executed repeatedly. And then finally, at the bottom of the loop, we have our keyword while and what we call the loop continuation expression. So this is a Boolean expression which will evaluate to true or false. It's worth pointing out that it's very important that something involved in that expression be a variable that has the ability to change inside the body of the loop. So let's go ahead and run this and take a look, see what happens, and point out some interesting things about this form of loop. Okay, so obviously we have written out x is currently, and then the value of x. So a do-while loop is categorized in two ways. First, as a condition-controlled loop, as opposed to a count-controlled loop, like the for loop. So there are two variations of a condition-controlled loop, and those are the while and the do-while. Now, the while loop is a pretest. And if you review the while loop video, you'll see that it's possible to write a while loop that may never execute. If the condition is false the first time it is encountered, you wouldn't run any statements. A do while, if you note the while is the bottom of the block, you can think of it as the first time this loop structure is encountered, we hit the keyword do, and then we run into the statements. And we're going to do them before we have a chance to evaluate the continuation expression. Therefore, a do while is also known as a post-test loop in that its main purpose is to be guaranteed to run at least one time. Okay, so if I change this expression in a way that it's now going to evaluate the false. Well, I guess I didn't change the expression, but I changed one of the variables involved in the expression. X being 10, well, 10 is not less than 10. So this would be false the first time it's encountered. However, we are going to still run at least one iteration. As we see here. Once again, it is very important to make sure that something involved in this expression is going to be changed inside the body of the loop. So if I simulate breaking that, I essentially end up with an infinite loop. So let's get my variable set back to 0. And you see my computer is just freaking out. The CPU fan is starting to pick up. Most modern operating systems these days can handle an infinite loop without crashing. Back in the old days, something like this would freeze the operating system. You would actually have to reboot. So avoiding infinite loops is very important. Now, what I'm going to do is demonstrate that once again, I might hard code values used in the continuation expression, or I might choose to gather input from the user and use that to control my loop. So I've imported my scanner. I actually left that in there from a previous trial run. Let's pull this down. Okay, so I might say, while x is less than iterations. And so let's try running this one. We'll ask the user how many times they want to run. Okay, in the real world, this might be how many grades do you have to average or something along those lines. I'll say, let's just say 10 iterations. Oops. Oh my. Well, have to pay attention to detail. I forgot to change something involved in the body of the loop that would affect one of the two variables down here. So I just accidentally wrote another infinite loop. Let's try this again. Do while loop. Okay, let's go for 10. Okay, there we go. Again, so to summarize, a do while loop is a post test, meaning it's guaranteed to run at least one time. And a do while loop is also known as a condition controlled loop because the Boolean continuation condition, as opposed to a for loop, which is a count controlled loop. I hope this was helpful.